illegal drugs, creepy dinosaurs, and the Halloween Hamburglar. These are the 10 scariest McDonald's Happy Meal toys ever. Part 2. Number 10. Drugs. This is not a toy. Not by any means. No, but it was found in a Happy Meal in place of a toy. Imagine going to a McDonald's and returning with some drugs instead of another random toy. The story about finding weed in a pack of a Happy Meal was a strange one, but there was a start to it. At the time, weed wasn't legal in the country, so people who used it had to do so in secret. Anyhow, a McDonald's employee brought the drug to work. When his shift started, he needed someplace to hide his stash. Yeah, someone who used an illegal drug didn't know how to hide his stuff. So what do you know? He grabbed the nearest Happy Meal pack he could find and put the weed in it. This is why you don't do drugs, kids. The employee went about his work and someone else found the Happy Meal pack. But instead of looking inside to be sure that it was actually a toy instead of, not toys, they didn't. They just put the food inside and handed the pack to a customer. This shows that employees at McDonald's don't even check to make sure food packs are safe, because how could you not spot a stash of weed in a box? The little boy who got the Happy Meal pack found the drug and reported it to his mother, who called the police. The employee who brought in weed to work was found and arrested. Imagine if that poor child had eaten a meal without noticing. The horror. Number 9. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs have been a part of our lives for a long time. Even though they aren't here anymore, they still appear in movies, cartoons, and toys. At this point, everyone is cool with them. So when McDonald's started to jump on the dinosaur trend for their Happy Meal toys, we expected better, but they failed us. They made some plastic dinosaur toys which were scary and weird at the same time. For one, most of these toy dinosaurs looked more like crocodiles than the real thing. If they didn't know what dinosaurs look like, all they had to do was watch one of the 50 million Jurassic Park movies. It couldn't be that hard to find a cute one to make. But that's not the end. One of the toys in particular was created to look like a baby dinosaur, only it didn't look like a baby dinosaur. If anything, it was like someone mixed E.T. and a tortoise. It was scary and a lot of kids threw it out. We don't blame them. Number 8. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget was a TV show that thrilled children for years. The character is lovable and has a lot of, gadgets, which he used to catch bad guys. In typical McDonald's fashion, they decided to add Inspector Gadget toy to their Happy Meals, but that didn't go well. Even though some kids enjoyed playing with the toy, others were too scared to use it. Why? Well, the design was bad. Inspector Gadget had a very long neck, some very square shoulders, large arms with gadgets, and smaller legs. It was like they hadn't even seen the show. The design made it creepy for any fan of Inspector Gadget to take it seriously. If you think that these toys so far were scary, then the next set of toys are going to be even scarier. Now we're going to look at a camping gear that gave children a fright, creepy sky dancers, and weird Madame Alexander dolls. Number 7. Camp McDonald Land Camp Gear. There are a few things more Americans love than camping, but like it or not, there are people that don't enjoy going out to spend some time in nature. Of course, they enjoy a good campfire story and some s'mores, but they prefer their comfortable beds and working toilets. McDonald's didn't think about this when they added camp gear toys in their Happy Meals. We doubt any child even thought of things like frying pan, utensils, and a water bottle as toys, but they got it anyway. That wasn't even the worst part. The toys were made with cheap plastic to make children excited about Camp McDonald Land, so they couldn't be used for anything else other than playing with your imaginations. But many kids didn't think like this. If you told them they could go camping with these toys, they were going to try it out. So imagine how scared children were when they found out that their plastic frying pans were melting on the stove. These toys were not good enough for the Happy Meal pack, and they certainly didn't make kids feel, happy. Number 6. Sky Dancers. During the 90s, the sky dancers were very popular, especially among girls. They were fairies that could be shot into the air before dancing down with their wings. Even though the toys looked like fun for many kids, there was also a dark side to it. First of all, the toys were dangerous. As they spin back down, being in the wrong place could earn you a slap in the face. So kids started to throw them at one another. There were lots of injuries. Also, you could only play with them one way. After throwing it in the air, you had to pick them up and throw it again. But that's not the scary part. You see, these toys had wide blue eyes and creepy smiles. They had wings instead of hands, which makes it even sadder. And the strangest part of it all, they only had one leg. Who designed this again? Number 5. Halloween Hamburglar. Throughout the years, McDonald's has made many toys for Halloween that were both cute and scary. But in 1998, they went a little too far with one of their characters called the Hamburglar. First, he was given an eye mask that made him look scary, then his skin was pale green. To top it off, they put a large spider on his tongue. Now, if you didn't already know, a lot of people are scared of spiders, so putting one on a toy is a little too scary for a child's Halloween. Needless to say, not many people liked this toy. Number 4, Madame Alexander dolls. The Madame Alexander doll put in Happy Meals looked like the real thing, but not in a good way. It had eyes that looked like they were following you everywhere, and a creepy face that made you think it was alive. But it didn't end there. McDonald's went all the way to create a series of dolls that scared children with their looks. Even though some of them were just scary on a normal level, there was one in particular that just looked like something out of a bad dream. The Wizard of Oz was a movie that came out in 1939. It had a flying monkey character, which McDonald's decided to add to their Happy Meals with some of the other characters in 2008. But instead of creating a flying monkey toy that looked like the one from the film, McDonald's created their own, which was both scary and ugly to look at. The doll was blue in color and put into a plastic case, which looked more like a prison than anything else. Like the flying monkeys in the movie weren't enough, McDonald's went and made an even creepier toy for kids. Starting now, things get serious. It's now time to look at gloves with the animals in a Happy Meal, sunglasses with Ronald McDonald smiling creepily, and a scary yellow toy that is supposed to be a birdie. Number 3, Farm Animal Glove. The farm animal glove had to make this list because it's just wrong. For one, the gloves were made from cheap materials, and a lot of kids hated them at the time. They were supposed to be used for eating fries and chicken McNuggets. Who even comes up with toy ideas for McDonald's? How's a glove a toy? Why would anyone want to eat with gloves? But it gets worse. The gloves had finger puppets that looked like some farm animals. Great, right? No. One of the puppet animals was a chicken, and the gloves were made for eating chicken nuggets. Imagine a chicken watching you eat chicken. Or still, imagine a chicken helping you to eat chicken. That's twisted. But it gets worse. The felt puppets started to fall off when eating, and children ate them without knowing. There were lots of cases of choking because of this. One minute kids were enjoying a meal, and the next they were turning blue. How scary is that for both parents and kids? Maybe it's the puppet chicken getting revenge for his fellows. Number 2, Ronald McDonald sunglasses. It took a while for McDonald's to figure out that not many people liked clowns, but not before they made many toys with Ronald McDonald. One such scary toy was a pair of sunglasses. We aren't toy experts, but we know that sunglasses are not toys. What do you think? How do you play with them? By putting them on? Isn't that how regular ones work too? Anyway, McDonald's didn't mind. In fact, they went out of their way to add Ronald McDonald onto the sunglasses. Now you could get a clown hanging from your head like a true beauty. The truth was that they wanted kids to be excited about Camp McDonald Land, but went about it in the wrong way. They were trying to turn kids into walking adverts for their business. Come on! But it didn't stop there. They kept trying even in the 90s. For the sunglasses, they were creepy because the clown had a wide grin and a piercing gaze, which is enough to give you the shivers. For many people afraid of clowns, this toy was a no-go. Now on to the moment you've all been waiting for. Number 1, Birdie. Birdie was one of the most popular characters in Camp McDonald Land. So when Happy Meals came out with a Birdie toy, a lot of kids were happy to collect them. But there was one problem. Birdie didn't look fun. In fact, she looked like she's staring at something disturbing. Her wide eyes and large grin were creepy to say the least. Also, her hands or wings were too long for her size. It looked like she had 4 large fingers and was hugging herself. Lots of things are wrong with this toy, but the scariest was a square hole found on her chest where her bow went in. Worse still, she had a black mask that covered her whole face. It was like Birdie was doing a black face. If you know anything about that, you know it's a bad sign and too scary to be on a kid's toy. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.